video is not intended for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
If you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greetings, all. Welcome to Morning Mischief. I'm your host, Stone Loki. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Gun Bunny. Good morning, Darth Aster, Mark the Infinitely Tired, and Chris Persia. The Bash Brothers are here. Robert Pearson, good morning. Good morning, Keely Chow, Roll Tide, Keely Roll Tide, and a big good morning to Mexican Iron Man with a 1999 super sticker, and it's a pair saying thank you for being you. Thank you so very much, Mexican Iron Man, for that 1999 super chat, brother. Skull! You guys keep the fires burning bright and Balala. Good morning, Lady Miss, the Guardian of the Void. Good morning, Jester of Sin. Pat S. Good morning, guys. Good morning. How are you all doing out there? I hope I didn't miss anybody. Darth Aster, good morning. Good morning, everyone. Well, it is the end of the week, and we're going to end things with a bang. We're going to talk about the dreaded topic Star Wars fans dread talking about. The prequel trilogy. At least they don't dread it as much as the sequel trilogy, but we're not going to get into that because I don't cover Disney shit anymore.
Got that right.
So let's start things off. What were you guys doing when the Phantom Menace came out? Do you remember?
Yeah, go ahead, Dave Bob.
I was just going to say, I was raising two boys and trying to keep a body and soul together.
I was in college at the time.
Oh, Spiegel was in college.
Nice. I was in school, so but I think what I remember the most is how excited people were. You know, everybody was talking about the Star Wars that was coming out. You know, it was advertisements everywhere. People were going to the cinema just to see the trailer, paying to see another film and then leaving after they'd seen it.
Yeah, back in the good old days when that's the only way you could see a trailer.
That or on TV.
Yeah.
There was a Star Wars game that came out. I think it was on PlayStation that had an actual it was like a little music thing for the movie of the music where Maul fought Obi-Wan and
Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon Jinn. Yeah. And you got to see a little bit of that. You got to see a little bit of the fight. And I remember watching that over and over and over and over. Jedi power battles. It might have been. It was either that or it was the episode 1. Yeah, Duel of the Fates. Valiant Renegade, thank you. I'm horrible with names in the morning. It's the morning. It's too early for that shit. It's too early to be thinking about that. But yeah. It was Duel of the Fates. It was either Jedi Power Battles or it was the episode 1 game. I can't remember. But whatever it was, it came out right before the movie came out, and you could watch a little bit of the fight. And I was like going absolutely crazy because Darth Maul had a dual-bladed lightsaber.
Yes.
That was one of the coolest aspects of that.
Yeah, that really was. I think that's probably one of the big takeaways from that first film, how good the choreography was with the fight scenes.
Oh yeah, head and shoulders above what the original trilogy, but technology and just film making in general had progressed quite a lot by that time. I mean, this is almost, 20 years later? Over 20 years?
Well, they had just redone the original trilogy, right? Lucas had put out his updated versions.
Yeah, a few years before.
There was quite a fervor building up to this because everybody's like, "Oh, he's prepping us for something big."
Yes, that's what it felt like. And we have got a new member. Space Windu just became a warrior of Midgar. Thank you so very much, Space Windu, for joining Valhalla, brother. Thank you. We're going to give you a Viking welcome. Skål!
Go!
We knew we had more Star Wars coming. We knew we had. I remember I got to see all the movies when they came out, when the THX versions came out, and we thought that we were just, hogs dipped in shit when we got to see those again in the theater. And then they came out with the special editions, and I remember sitting there and Solo. Oh shit, it's Jabba, but it's not Jabba. It's some weird gelatinous slug. It's a slug on screen.
It's like, what happened to him?
What happened to Jabba? Solo mita buta solo. Oh, Han my buki. Oh my God, what the hell happened to Jabba?
He melted.
But then when I saw Empire, man, they added so many cool little things. It was like they updated the snow monster. He looked great. And then they added the windows into
Cloud City.
Yeah, and it was just like, wow, that looked really cool. They didn't really mess with it besides that scene with R2-D2. So it was weird, and they changed the. I like this song in Return of the Jedi when the Ewoks are partying and everybody's partying. I do like that song. Lucas started to do 30-minute behind the scenes for early internet adopters. You had to download them. It took a while, but it was great content. Nothing like that since. And back then you really had to download it. It was like, you are downloading your download at 5 kilobytes per second, and you were like, yeah, it's working fast. Now you do like
59K modem.
Yeah. Yeah, on your 56K modem.
Like that screen from SpongeBob 2 hours later. I mean, it's just so slow.
Somebody calls you and it completely cuts it off.
Yeah, if you didn't get it in one whack, you had to start over.
And B Geek, I love the updated Cloud. See, look, Brandon Wolf, Empire's the template on how to make a touch-up of the original. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I hated the change to the song at the end of Return of the Jedi. I loved the Ewok song, and then all of a sudden we got this I'm just like, no. I'm probably like the only one that liked the original song version. I mean, I loved actually the scenes where they're jumping between planets, showing the celebration. I thought that was cool.
Yes.
But I like the Ewok song better. I don't know why.
And
Being me, that's it.
Bored Nipples with a $2 Canadian super chat. I'm assuming that's you, Fat Steven. I love your content, bro. At the gym working the nips. And we've got a $4.99 super chat from Mark the Eminently Tired. The Force is strong with you, Loki, but you are not a Jedi yet. Thank you guys so very much for those super chats. We're going to hit you with some Vader Skull. And Space Windu says the special editions cucked Vader a little bit. The Emperor's lines to him in Empire Strikes Back were changed for the new version and made Darth seem stupid, like he didn't know Luke was his son until told. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
That is true. How is that possible? Search your feelings, Lord Vader. You know it to be true.
Not like you remember your last name or anything.
No, Luke Skywalker.
How common a name can that actually be? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. How is that possible?
Kids got your name, you know.
Oh, shit. And he blew up the Death Star in one shot, but, you know.
Yeah. And you felt his power, you know, when you were chasing him down the trench.
The Force is strong with this
one.
Yes. And back to the prequels, though, because that's what we're talking today. Wookiee in Exile, Jar Jar Binks is arguably the most pivotal character in the entire saga.
Yeah.
He's certainly the most controversial.
Misa no like Naboo, so Misa gonna blow it up. Oh God, who can forget like episode 2 where he's like, Supreme Chancellors, me say we need a clone army of stormtroopers, and you're like, oh my God, it's because of him.
He's the one that started the Clone Wars.
Forward, yeah.
He's the dupe.
Jar Jar Binks.
Perfect person to be duped into starting the worst war ever.
If only Queen Amidala was here. Misa here, I make clone army.
If that was done in anime, I just feel like there'd have been big arrows pointing over his head, like retard. You know,
Misa all bombad. God. And it's like it immediately cuts away and you hear the Empire song. You hear, you know, the dun 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 dun, and you see the stormtroopers boarding the ship, and you're like, oh shit.
Good one, Jar Jar. Nice. Well done. Oh my God. Did anybody like that character? Because even back in the day, I remember him being absolutely hated universally.
I don't even think George Lucas liked him.
Yeah.
Misa dropped the plans that you needed, Papa Buddy, for the new Death Star.
I felt bad for the actor because I'm sure he was doing his best, but I mean, he just got the worst character on Earth. So,
without Binks, Palpatine's plan fails, and the Sith don't rule the galaxy. That's right.
Yeah.
I think, you know what, I always felt like he did that on purpose. Like, bitches, I'll show you. You don't like this character that I made? Misa no like you? Okay, Misa destroyed the entire galaxy.
Well, there is that theory that he's actually Sith, isn't it? That keeps popping up.
Oh, yeah. After the first movie, Lucas just said, fuck it, and made Jar Jar responsible for everything that went bad in Star Wars after that.
That's about right.
Well, did anybody like the Phantom Menace? I mean, was anybody like, ooh, this is the best?
Okay, I didn't think it was the best, but
I enjoyed it.
Qui-Gon is my favorite Jedi of all time. Qui-Gon Jinn is my favorite Jedi of all time. Even though we lost to Maul, he only lost because he was getting older and he had a very defensive style. He didn't have an offensive style. In fact, Obi-Wan learns an entire new style from Yoda after that happens because he does not want to ever be in the same position as Qui-Gon. So if it wasn't for that death, Obi-Wan would have never beat Anakin. He learns Musashi and he learns the other forms, becomes a master of them because of Qui-Gon's death to Maul.
Oh, I didn't know that. That's good news. That's good information.
I think that was in one of the comics or the books. I can't remember.
Kid a sleep spell, Blurg from Psychodorf9 with the $2 super chat. Thank you so very much, Psychodorf9. We're gonna burn it down for you, brother. Skull!
Go!
Oh, and Gun Bunny, Phantom Menace was my first date with Shockwave. That is so sweet, Gun Bunny.
So you have to like it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's all right. We're with you on that. No, the story, it drug. It just drug and drug. In fact, I actually kind of enjoyed the Senate parts and stuff, which everybody else seems to hate. But the stuff on Naboo, I was just like, this is making this the longest movie ever. I didn't like it until you get to the pod racing part, which is pretty good. And then that's where we all got introduced to the midichlorians.
Oh,
that's the worst part of it.
I'm like, what the hell?
You know,
all the mysticism out of it.
Lucas talked about how it was like back when the first trilogy came out, how it was like becoming a kung fu master. You might have, like, some people just can't become a kung fu master, it's just not in them, and some people can, and that's the way it was. Like there would be no way Han could ever be a Jedi because he could never be like that, and Luke can. And then he made it all about the stuff floating around in your bloodstream. Adega Outlaw says, Qui-Gon is number 2 in my book. Revan is number 1. Well, I was just talking about the movies. If you included all the people from the comics, the games, and all that, yes, Revan is my number 1.
Well, it's like Purple said, the fight choreography is what really drew you in the battles, with the Jedi, because you didn't realize how powerful they were, watching the first films. When you saw these films, you realized the power they wielded in the galaxy.
Yeah, they could run like the wind. Like when they're on the droid ship and those guys just are like, hey, we got to run. They're gone. I'm like, when the hell did they get that ability? That's cool.
And June Wong with a $2 super chat, can't sleep down under a drink then. Hell yeah. And we have got Muscle Busey. I think I know who that is. With a $2 Canadian super chat. I think that gives it away. Jar Jar and I work out all the time. We heart kegels, man.
Oh my god, that avatar.
Thank you guys so very much for your super chats. You guys keep the fire burning bright in Valhalla, especially with those nipples. Skull!
Long live the fighters!
And lightsaber 328. Lightsaber 328, the man, you're awful, Mike, George Lucas, Mike Staklasa. Me, I'm awful. Oh, yeah, how am I awful? George didn't have control of all the writing and everything that happened in Star Wars and in Empire. It wasn't until Return of the Jedi that he got more control and that he could do more. And then it wasn't until the prequel trilogy where he was in control of everything. And I think that first movie kind of shows that. A lot of people down on Hayden Christensen. And I've always said, okay, if you want an explanation for Santa's coarse and rough and it gets everywhere, well, that's George's fault. I'm sorry. People can argue that, and they're like, we've got a lot of George defenders nowadays, but that is George's fault. The Santa's course, that's not Hayden's fault.
Hayden is actually a fairly decent actor. I've seen him in a lot of other stuff where I thought he, did a really good job.
Yep.
He was good in Jumper, I thought.
He was told in Clone Wars, you need to be a little whiny bitch. You need to be whiny. Yeah, you've got all this power, but you got to be whiny. Why? Because Luke was whiny, and it'll make sense one day. Trust me.
Yeah.
But the whole Santa's course,
that poor kid that played Anakin in the first movie.
Yes.
Everybody has so much hate for that poor little kid. Hell, he did a hell of a job.
Yeah, they destroyed his life afterwards. He turned into a drug addict and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah,
really sad.
Oh yeah, Mr. Lucas, what does wizard mean? Trust me, kid. One day everybody's gonna be saying you're a wizard. Okay, cool. Yeah, no, you're a wizard, bitch. And then they mess with him every day. Jake Lloyd. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually thought he did good for what he was given.
Yeah. He did the script well.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The first one just wasn't my cup of tea. I thought it was all right. And other than the romance, the second one was actually pretty good. The romance was just so cringy and unbelievable. I'm just like, I feel dirty. I feel dirty watching this. This is not okay.
It was. I was always uncomfortable with the age difference between the two of them as well.
Yeah. When you saw him as a little kid in that first one, and her, as a grown ass woman almost, late teens at the
she was 16. She was 16.
Yeah.
In the first movie, she was 16. Yeah. And he's like 9. Yeah. Are you an angel? What? A space angel. Oh my God. They're gonna yeah. I used to babysit you. Let's get it on. I've been feeling fine, baby. It's been so long since you were my babysitter.
Sounds like a porno.
God. The babysitter strikes back. Dun, 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 dun.
So how old is his character in the second film? Does anybody know how much time has passed? Because I don't know if they ever said that. Did they?
He's 18.
Okay.
He's 18. It was 6 years from, he's supposed to be 12. She's 16 and he's 12.
So he's just past jailbait. All right.
Yeah, he's just past jailbait, and they're. And Psychodorb 9 with a $5 super chat. Take away George's typewriter when it comes to dialogue.
Yeah.
Oh, brother. Indeed. And thank you so very much for that $5 super chat, brother. And we've got another comment from Muscle Busey with a $2 Canadian super chat. Anakin and Jar Jar reenact ghost clay scenes daily.
Oh.
Dude, I no. Oh, you just gave me the willies. No. Thank you guys for your super chat. Score!
A dollar? I've never seen a dollar. Nobody's got a dollar. Let us see the dollar. There it is. It's beautiful. Take your hat off, boy. That's a dollar bill.
I hate sand. It's rough and coarse. It gets in your JJ on the beach when you adjust your thong.
But not like here where everything's soft. And just like,
Oh God. Ironcaster ships Loki and muscle abusing. No. Nope.
Let's get it on.
Nothing wrong with people riding that way, but Loki don't ride that way. Sorry.
We were talking about the cast before we got sidetracked by Gary Busey.
On a side note, yeah.
Would you say that Liam Neeson was one of the best? Because I really loved, obviously, Ian McGregor. I thought he was a great young character as Obi-Wan.
Ewan McGregor, Samuel L. Jackson. I mean, Ewan McGregor is my favorite from the prequels, but Samuel L. Jackson, man, right on the right behind him. I mean, I a hair between them. This party's over. Just badass. And when he lights up that purple lightsaber, I'm so glad he argued with George, because George was like, no, I'm not giving you a purple lightsaber. No. And he's like, you're going to give me a purple lightsaber. And the lightsaber I want, you see that one over there, the one that says bad motherfucker on it? That's the handle I want.
Yeah. Yeah, you going to give me a purple lightsaber, bitch.
That's right. And he did. He ended up caving and giving it to him, and it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. He's supposed to be the greatest lightsaber master, the greatest master with a lightsaber. And he needs something that signified that. And giving him that purple lightsaber was just the shit. Everybody that saw that knew. Damn.
Yeah, he was actually, noted for he was almost channeling the dark side when he fought.
Yes. Well, Vapid pulls from your emotions and pulls from your opponent's emotions. So anything that your opponent, any emotions your opponent is putting out, you draw on that and you unleash it against them. That's the style. That's why in Revenge of the Sith, when he gets Palpatine down and he's arguing with Anakin, he's like, no, he's too dangerous to be left alive. I remember my dad flipping out and him being like, no, he would never do that. Mace would never act like that. I said, it's because of his style. It's because he fought Palpatine. He was pulling in Palpatine's emotions if Palpatine was attacking him and reversing it on him. That's why he was able to get him down like he did. It's just all that hatred that Palpatine was putting out, it overwhelmed Mace, and he was going to turn to the dark side himself. And welcome, No Budget Productions. How you doing, Vance? And he says, Loki. How are you doing, Vance?
Do you think we'll ever see Mace back?
I hope not.
No.
Well,
we don't technically see him die.
Yeah. They say Jedi can survive falls from a great height and everything else, but I don't know. You get your arm chopped off and you get sucked out like that, I don't think there's any coming back from that. Can't rub a little dirt on that.
Robert Pearson, you will give me a purple lightsaber. The Force has a strong influence on the weak-minded.
I would have wanted a purple lightsaber.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Honestly, I love Obi-Wan. I mean, that character right there, seeing him as a young Padawan, that really, kind of struck a chord with me when I saw him in that first prequel movie. It really, kind of brought it home that, hey, he's just like everybody else. He was young once too, all we ever got to see him before that was as a very old man, there on Tatooine.
I remember my dad not liking how arrogant. I remember my dad not liking how arrogant Obi-Wan was in Phantom Menace. And I was like, you got to understand, the only time we got to see him was for an hour. And that was at the end of his life. This is an Obi-Wan that's never gone through anything. He's never had to fight Anakin. He hasn't learned anything yet. So when he's like, why do I take it? We have taken on another unintelligent life form. You know, another useless passenger on our voyage. You have to understand, Anakin's never been through that. Seeing Qui-Gon get killed, taking up the duty of training Anakin, it changed him. And when you see mullet Obi-Wan in episode 2, you know,
I
and he's
forgot
like
that.
arguing with Anakin, and Anakin's like, "And I saved you, Master." He's like, "Oh yes, all right, yes you did, right?" You know, Obi-Wan was just fucking with him, and like, "No, I was just testing your abilities, my Padawan."
He's savage in the Clone Wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
Some of the best lines come from him.
Hello there.
Hello there. Yes.
You took your time. He's like, oh, Master, I had to find one that met the color I love the back and forth.
Yes.
Like father and son would be jabbing each other. That was a lot of fun to watch.
Yes.
That was.
Absolutely. And things they did right. There was things they really did right, and that was one of them.
I absolutely loved Christopher Lee as Count Dooku.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Such a great character. And that fight that he has at the end with Yoda. Holy hell.
Yes.
There wasn't an ass in a seat opening night when Yoda comes in, and he's got his cane, right? And that's all up front. That's all horse shit. You know, Yoda didn't need the cane. We found that out like a minute later. But when he comes in and he's like, Count Dooku, and they have their little exchange and then their little force power battle. And when Dooku pulls out his lightsaber and he's like, we will not determine this with our skills in the force, but with our skills with a lightsaber. When Yoda opened his coat and pulled that lightsaber out, there wasn't an ass in a seat in that house. Everyone was on their feet and everyone was cheering.
Yep. And when he started flipping around, it was just magical.
Learned much you have, young Padawan. I love that because they're both standing there in the glow of the lightsabers off of Yoda's face as he's saying stuff. I'm just like, that is one of the most badass faces I think I've ever seen on anybody. You know, it just gave me chills.
And badass Yoda, too old to begin the training he is. We are not used to brainwashing children this old. You know, say what you want about the Clone Wars movie, but that set up an entire anime line, multiple movies, a series that Disney would bring back and do a last season of, which was only half good because you had to have combed over, haired, progressive
Chick.
yodelers.
Woke wankers.
Woke wankers. But I love the end of that movie, and there are scenes in it that are great. The scene, man, I felt it. I knew when he's talking to his mother and she's like, I love you, and then dies. That look he has, I was like, there's Darth Vader.
Yep.
That's fucking Darth Vader coming out in him.
You just about saw his eyes change.
Yeah, we said before, he got a lot of criticism, but I thought he was a really good actor. With what he had to work with, I thought he really brought the character out.
Right up until he goes back to tell Padme what he did. And then that scene, I'm just like, and I killed them all. And I'm just like, oh Lord.
The women.
What happened to the badass that just took it? You know, like, it was the way he delivers those lines. I'm just like, are you crying or are you? I don't know. I struggled.
I killed them all, the women and the children, and you're like, damn. All right, man, you need some therapy. Here's the Xanax. Go lie down.
Younglings.
No Budget Productions band says as a whole it sucked, but there were moments of greatness. It's true. as a whole, the three movies, they weren't that great, but there were real moments of greatness. I especially liked the third movie. I remember leaving the theater and some poor little like 9-year-old girl's hugging her dad, and she's like, "Why did Padme die?" Because she had to, and it was just, yeah. Oh, spoiler alert! If you didn't know.
Yeah. Anakin Vader is Luke's dad.
Dave Bob.
You ruined it. You ruined it.
Wookiee in Exile, I want youngling slaughter. You killed
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you what. Whenever that lightsaber, that little kid looking, and that you see the glow of the lightsaber across his face when Anakin ignites his lightsaber, you're sitting there going, "Oh shit, no."
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I remember my dad being like, "I don't believe it." Well, believe it. He did it. They didn't have to show that. Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
He's
He
not
will
Darth
do
Vader
anything.
for nothing.
Yeah, he will do anything for Padme. And that relates back to why he saves Luke. Because he'd do anything for his kid.
Mm-hmm.
That translates to later. This is what started him down the path he was on, and eventually he saves his kid because he's not going to let his kid get killed either. So, yeah, the birth robot was creepy as fuck. She has lost the will to live. We are going to have to execute her. Ugh, ugh. And Snoke is Luke's severed hand. Oh my god. Oh shit, bad Steven Seagal.
But that's a story for another time.
Yeah, that's another galaxy far, far away from the one we all knew and loved.
I loved it when they executed order. What was it, 626 or whatever?
66.
Yeah. And all the Jedi were getting massacred. And then you see Yoda and how he gets out of it.
I can save the one you love. Sure you can, fucker.
Yeah. Oh, he was a master at manipulating people. There's no doubt about it. Palpatine is a master at manipulating people.
Oh yeah, Ian McDermott played the hell out of that role. You can see again he was having fun with it.
Oh, so I Christopher Lee, but Christopher Lee you could see him reveling in the fact that he was a villain. Twice the fall, or was it twice the foam, double the fall? God, it was just like, he was having fun. I get to be on Star Wars. I get to be the villain in Star Wars.
We also had General Grievous, who looked cool, but didn't really do much.
But cough.
He thought he was a badass. He's one of those guys, that you see that he thinks he's a badass till a badass comes along and shows him what a badass really is. Hello there.
The consummate coward is what I always think of him as.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when you're sitting there looking at him when he has all those lightsabers and he's going at Obi-Wan, you're thinking, oh man, there ain't no way he's got a chance. And then, it was just a masterful show of swordsmanship, just going through there and just lopping limbs off and everything else.
If you read Rise of the Sith, the book, they talk about how General Grievous was obviously a general during the Clone Wars. His shuttle was shot down, and Darth Sidious, who we all know as Palpatine, used technology to bring him back. What they don't tell you is that Palpatine's the one who had the shuttle shot down. So this is another, he was like the prototype for Vader.
Self-fulfilling prophecy.
He was the prototype for Vader. Can we take someone? How far can we go to save someone like this? How far can we go to keep someone alive? So Grievous was like the prototype for Vader. The suit, the technology, the legs they put on Vader, all of that came from the work they did on Grievous. So they already had a prototype to it. And MB Geek, let's talk with
the book, the Legacy book now.
Which
Darth
one?
Plagueis.
Yes.
It's called. Oh, I did not think I would like that book, and my step cousin suggested it to me, and the audiobook is fantastic. But it goes about to tell you how all of it came to pass, and about Plagueis himself, which was Palpatine's master.
Yeah, and Palpatine.
And like all the things that they did. I mean, if you ever want to find out the nitty gritty, that's definitely worth going and listening to because it carries through these stories. But
NB
sorry,
Geek, let's
I
talk.
interrupted you.
No, it's okay. NB Geek, let's talk with a $5 super chat. Hey, George Lucas, you will give me a pimp lightsaber. It will have bad motherfucker in Orbesh, and I will not go out like no bitch. Thank you so very much, Jesse, for that $5 super chat, and we'll give you some jewels this morning, brother, just because. Skull!
Go!
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brother.
Damn straight. Damn straight. Do they speak Irish and what? Say what one more motherfucking time. I dare you. I double dare you. Does he look like a bitch? What?
You can't help but love Samuel L. Jackson.
Chris Berger.
MF and snakes on the MF and plane.
Yes. Chris Berger, don't forget, it wasn't merely how far could they go to keep someone alive, but to also have them in constant pain. That was the reason why George had Grievous coughing. Yes. Yes. And it was to keep Vader in pain, keep him going back to that booth, keep him thinking about what Obi-Wan did to him. Yes.
Master at manipulation. There's no two ways about it.
No, Palpatine was the master.
What did you guys think of that fight since we're talking about Vader between Anakin and Obi-Wan?
No, that was kick ass. There ain't no two ways about it.
I've heard some.
Go ahead,
Dave Bob. No, go ahead, Dave Bob.
I was just going to say that just showed you two masters at their peak and how closely matched they were.
Some people have called it a dance. I don't think it's quite a dance. They had the exact same style. Obviously, Obi-Wan taught him how to fight. They had the exact same lightsaber style. They fought in almost the exact same way. The problem is, Anakin was arrogant. If Anakin hadn't have been so arrogant, you would never underestimate my power. Anakin would have won. It's that simple. If Anakin hadn't been so arrogant, Anakin would have fought him until Obi-Wan couldn't fight anymore, and he would have won. Instead, he tried some bullshit leap maneuver and got his legs and his arm cut off.
Mm-hmm. Didn't have the high ground. Yep.
Nope. It's
Oh,
over.
Pat S.
It's over. You've lost. I have the high ground. You have underestimated my power.
Pat S. To Loki and panel members, Rogue One better than the prequels or not? It's a good question, Pat S. What do you think,
Yes.
Purple?
If you take all three of the prequels as a whole, I would say no, but I've got to admit I did enjoy Rogue One for what it was, but I would say the prequels are better, just for the cast.
I think it was a great movie, don't get me wrong, but I don't think it was better than all of the prequels. Now, certainly, aspects of it were a lot better than a lot of the aspects that were in the prequels. But as a whole, like Purple said, it wasn't good. But the one thing you do get to see is Darth Vader kind of being a badass, which you never got to see before.
True, but we could have seen so much more of him
Yeah,
in that film.
yeah.
Apart from that, that one little scene where he takes over.
Yeah, just the hallway scene.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think,
Yeah,
Speaker?
never screw around with a Skywalker in a hallway.
Mm-mm.
I altogether, no, it's not better, but individually, if you stack Rogue One up against them individually, yes, by quite a bit. I think the story was more cohesive than the prequels. There wasn't as much fluff in it, so it flowed better. I don't know. That's just my personal opinion. And yeah, you get to see Darth Vader being a total badass in it, which I don't know if you guys have ever gone back and seen that. Somebody took the footage and reworked the fight scene from the original, from New Hope, on the Death Star between Obi-Wan and
yes.
Holy shit. I was like, you know what? I wish that was canon. I wish they'd just go and put that in the film as canon, because I'm like, that's what that fight should have been.
Yeah.
Between the two masters, one last glorious battle, and I'm just like, that would have changed a lot of things. But that's what time and better visual effects and somebody in their basement with too much time on their hands can get you. So, I mean, I don't know. I like the prequels, especially in comparison to the sequels, but they had a lot of issues that needed to be overcome. Kind of sad that they weren't everything they should have been.
Mm-hmm.
Without even talking about the fight, the hallway scene with Vader, I don't even think, to me, I know this might be blasphemy. Some people might nuke me for this, but I don't even think that's the best thing in Rogue One. I honestly believe when the Rebel fleet drops out and you see Red Leader, all wings report in, Red Leader standing by, Gold Leader I was like, holy shit, it's them. It is
the space.
Yes.
The space battle scenes were just great.
Yes.
It is the leaders from the Death Star run. I was just like, holy shit, look what they just did, Where's Porkins? Where's my boy? Porkins, I went nuts. I was like, okay, they nailed this. They nailed this by having the guys from the Death Star battle in Rogue One. I thought that was the most exciting part. Yes, the hallway scene with Vader is badass, but if you're talking about just the most exciting part for me personally, it's when the squadron leaders call in at the beginning of the space battle in Rogue One. I just thought that was the shit.
Yeah, and then their run on the gate where they get through the gate and some of them don't, and then they show up down on the planet to give cover to. That whole sequence is just that guy playing. I think it's Blue Leader, which you don't see him in New Hope
because he did. Yeah.
But I mean, his smile and stuff when he takes out that walker and you're just like, yeah. You just want to get up and scream. I don't know. Sorry, childish Brian. Out right now.
No, that's the whole point. That's the whole point, brother.
Annie Benson's died getting us this information.
That's the reaction that you want to have, exactly.
Yeah.
You talk about that beach scene. There is footage out there. You want to talk about release the real cut for Rogue One. There's footage of Vader on the beach taking out rebels, but not only that, but he holds an X-Wing. He stops an X-Wing with the Force and throws his lightsaber at it and cuts it in half and blows it up and brings his lightsaber. I want to see that. I want to see him use a force to stop an X-Wing and then cut it in half with a lightsaber. You cut that from the movie?
They cut a lot of good stuff from the movie, from what I understand. They shot a lot more than what they showed.
I've heard that, yeah. It's like, nah, fans won't want to see that.
I don't think they know what fans want to see.
They don't.
I mean, obviously what they've done, but I could have done without the two, I've got the death sentence on 12 systems, at Jeddah. I'm like, why the hell did they put that in? I'm like, that's a member berry that you don't need to have in there. I mean, some member berries, absolutely. Some, not so much.
Yeah, fan service carried a little too far.
Yeah, I was just like, all right, so are you saying they got off there before the Jeddah was destroyed then, apparently, because they end up in the next movie? I'm like, you didn't really explain that. So.
No, Andrew 46-2 says, "Give in to your emotions, Loki." I will say this. I was going to say this on Echo Base Network the other night before Coach had to jet. If I'd have been Luke and Vader had said, "Join me and we can rule the galaxy as father and son," I would have been like, "Yes, father." And boom, Luke goes off with Vader. You see that scene where he's walking through Cloud City and he's like, "Prepare my Star Destroyer for our arrival." Luke is in tow, holding his hand with Vader. Leia's crying because she senses that Luke has turned to the dark side. And at the end of the movie, Luke talks to Leia and tells her, "Go to Dagobah." And you think, oh my God, maybe Luke's still good. At the very end of Empire, Leia lands on Dagobah and Yoda's out in front of his house and he's like, and he turns around to go in and the camera pans out and you hear that Star Wars music with Leia walking into the little house to talk to Yoda. And in the next movie, you've got a Leia that is becoming a Jedi, and she's got to confront Luke, Vader, and the Emperor. And as Luke is fighting her, she is able to turn Luke. Han dies on Endor like he should have, blowing up the shield generator. So you lose Han, and it's not Leia that turns Luke back to the light side. It's her unborn child that no one knows she's pregnant. It's her kid that like reaches out to Luke and he's like, "Han," and he looks up at her and she's like, "Yep." And then they turn and fight the Emperor, and that would have been badass to me. Sorry. That would have been badass to me. If Luke would have gone to the dark side and you would have had an evil Luke until the very end of Jedi, and it's Luke, Leia, and the baby and Vader that took out the Emperor, that would have been badass. To me, anyway.
Rewrite 2 movies in like 30 seconds.
Well, I've thought about that. I've thought about that for a long time.
Oh, okay.
I've got it the speaker. Right. I had a long conversation with my old man about that because I was like, wouldn't it have been cool if he did this? And he's like, no. I'm like, yes. Join me and we will rule the galaxy as father and son. Yes, yeah. Father.
That's because Stone Loki is the villain.
Yes.
I'm just kind of sitting here with my mouth hanging open. I'm like, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff happening really quickly.
Oh, man. But that's not what happened. That's not what happened. Many Bothans died to get the second Death Star plans. Yes. Would have been cool. I'm not George Lucas. I can't rewrite the fucking... thank God no one thought of that at the time because it probably wouldn't have gone well. People would have been like, "No, Luke can't turn to the dark side." Yeah, and yes, yeah. Andrew 46-2 Loki goes Sith in every KOTOR game every time. Yes, I have never played through the light side in KOTOR or KOTOR 2. I've always been a villain, and mainly because of HK. Let me blast the meatbags and save you the trouble, master. Yes, HK, blast them.
Well, you got to remember too what the times when these movies were made back in the '80s. Heroes were the rage, villains were not the rage back then. It was starting to turn around that time, but at that time, everybody wanted to be the hero.
Mm. Now we've got sympathetic villains. Ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, anti-heroes or villains that aren't really villains because they had a horrible, backstory. So you're supposed to sympathize with them. Yeah.
Kind of like someone picking up a baby in Jotunheim and taking them back to Asgard and raising them as their son. And Muscle Busey with the $2 Canadian super chat. Kenobi called me Nick Nolte once. It still hurts. And Dee Dee Myers, Loki, I agree with you on that. I truly wanted that to happen when I first saw it, but all in all, I love the original. Don't get me wrong. I just thought it would be a cool thing if it would have, gone down. I would have done that. I'm not saying Luke would have done that. That would have been completely out of character for Luke. I'm saying I would have been like, oh no, I'm with you, Pops. Let's go rule the galaxy.
Oh, the lightsaber.
So thank you so very much for that super chat, Muscle Busey, or should I say Nick Nolte.
I have spoken.
Skull!
God, I want to punch an old woman in the face.
Yes. Punch Nick Nolte in the face. So thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you, chat, for hanging out with us on this Friday. It is always awesome to hang out with you guys on Friday because we get to talk about something good. I hope Muscle Busey gets to 1,000 subscribers this weekend, as do I. And June Wong, in a thought balloon over Loki's head, Conga, I am evil Loki. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
And we lost Speaker.
Oh, we lost Speaker. Brian, if you're still out there, brother, or did I just dox you? I'm so sorry.
You probably hit a bad
there
spot.
He is. He probably hit a bad spot. All right, he's back. He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
Sorry.
Fun down.
So I'm like, all of a sudden you guys just disappeared, and all I can hear is Dave Bob, and I'm like, why am I hearing Dave Bob but nobody else? And then it was all gone together. So
Eastbound and Brian down. I was just saying thank you guys so much for being here. Speaker hopped on here last minute because we lost Lorena Creel at the last minute, and Speaker was gracious enough to pop on here and hang out with us. Thank you so much, Brian, for coming and hanging out with us.
A lot of fun.
Heck yeah. And thank you, Purple, and thank you, Dave Bob, guys. I know Purple's got something coming up. Why don't you tell them what you got coming up?
Yes, a little over an hour. I've got a kind of silly show planned. So I've been lucky enough to have been sent a big box of American snacks and treats. So I'm going to be trying those on camera and giving you guys what I think of them. It could go well, it could go wrong. No, never again will I eat spotted dick, though, Bob.
No.
No matter how many times Peter Whalen yells.
Purple Valkyrie, bring me my spotted dick. Yes. Oh no, Brian down, eastbound and down. We've got man down. Medic. Speaker down. Yes, I was once introduced to a speaker. He beat the hell out of me on planet X499. I thought he was a god, an engineer. No, he wasn't. He was a very angry triclopite. Yes. Oh no, Speaker's down. Maybe he'll be back. I don't know. Hey, Bob, you got anything going on?
Not really. Just gonna be hanging out, I guess, with the movie chat, the movie stream Sunday.
Cool. Heck yeah, we're watching 300. Yeah,
Yes.
I cannot wait. We're gonna watch 300 watch party on Sunday, and we're going to have a member stream later today. So if you are on the membership, we're going to be hanging out at 5:00 today. So hopefully you guys can make that. And I don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to have you up on the panel, be hanging out,
Cool.
kicking ass and taking names. So we've got that, and we got the movie watch party Sunday. I know it's weird. It's a Sunday, not a Saturday, but we ran out of time this month. So we were going to have it last weekend, but Loki couldn't do it because Loki had a raging ear infection, which I still do in the other ear now. So it's in the other ear now. That's just fucking great. I love it.
Spotted dick is a disease.
And we'll leave it on that. Hopefully, we'll get Brian back. I don't think we are. I think he's gone. I think he's out. So, speaker, wherever you are, brother, take care. Thank you so much for being here. Everyone, take care. Have a wonderful weekend. You guys rock. And last but not least, Wookiee XL, rock out with your socks out. Absolutely. Everyone, take care and have a great one. And we will catch you guys later.
Bye.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.